What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review for Insecure Season 5, the final season, Episode 8. Oh my gosh, we are almost here. And we're starting to see, some things. Now, we open up, we have Issa and Nathan booed up in the bed, having that morning talk, and she's talking about how she can't believe Tiffany's moving away, and he was like, well, that means we just gonna have somebody to go visit. And she was like, oh, so you gonna go with me to go visit? And he was like, yeah, hell no, that's not happening. We see him brushing his teeth and coming, and then, he was taking his medicine, I'm sorry. And then she was brushing her teeth, and they get to talking about, how much stuff he has in her house, and clothes and shoes and socks and all kinds of stuff. And he was like, yeah, I mean, I like waking up with you in the morning. Maybe we need to think about living together. And Issa was like, oh, maybe we should. And he was like, think about it. Let me know if that's something you'd be open to. And she was like, okay, I'll think about it, So, now Issa has her art walk. Now, everything went off without a hitch. It's going really, really well. She even was able to get that collective to participate. The collective that was a little on the fence about the whole Krishan situation. And it seems to be doing really well. She's really impressing the water people. And, they tell her, listen, be on the lookout for an offer from us soon for that partnership deal, for that sponsorship deal, which of course is going to put her exactly where she wants to be, financially. She's got a major sponsor. She can finally, stop unclogging toilets and driving Uber and all those different things. And it's going really well. Like, the whole event went really well. We see Nathan is there with his cousin, and they're buying things, and, he's proud of his boo, and we see them being all in love, and I love you, and you love me, and we love each other, and then we see, I'm sorry, y'all. Then we see, Kelly and Molly are there, and of course they're clowning her about the I love yous and I love you too's with Nathan. And we see Issa's brother, and of course her brother and Kelly are still not getting along. And it was cute, because once again, it's that throwback, that ongoing back and forth between Issa's brother and Kelly that's been going on since season 1, right? And so we see, Issa, she gets home and she's got the email with the partnership agreement, the sponsorship agreement, excuse me. No, I'm sorry, rewind. When they're leaving the event, Issa and her assistant, they run into Krishan. He's outside, kind of hanging out. And she was like, Krishan, what you want? And he actually apologizes to her. He says, listen, I tried to do my own thing, and I didn't realize how much work it was. I didn't realize, the permits and what you had to do, and the community and getting people involved. And I'm sorry. Like, I have mad respect for what you did. Now, let me say this. If this weren't the final season of the show, and we ain't had but 2 more episodes left, I would say that I don't trust it. I think it was too easy. I think it's more to it. He was kind of pressing her out the rest of the episode to really, really come and work with her. He really wanted to work with her again. And I just ain't really trusting it. I feel like there's more to it than what he's saying. But I've been saying this from the beginning, that he realized that this shit isn't as easy as he thought it was. And, it's a thin line between having your dreams realized and having to compromise with some stuff. Like, at the end of the day, you got to get in the game before you can win the game. And, I understand it's real easy for people to be like, oh, I got to stay true to my vision, and I'm not going to sell out my people. But the flip side of that at the end is sometimes you just got to bend a little bit, right? So, again, I'm going to take it at face value only because we only have 2 episodes left of the show. But a part of me was really like, I don't trust it. It's too easy. But Issa is kind of hesitant because, of course, Issa is like, I don't want to, like, you burned me and you hurt me and you tried to ruin my business, and it's just not that easy to come back from. Because, you know what? I still got this event done without you, with you bad-mouthing me, with you dogging me out. So So yeah, I'm not, excuse me if I'm not in a rush to run back and be your best friend, right? And he tells her, okay, think about it, like just think about it. So then we see Issa get home, and she gets the email, and of course she's talking to the voice in her head, Issa, in the mirror, and they spitting bars and all that good stuff. And she ends up having this vision of what her life would be like if she gets this partnership, and she sees herself, a mover and shaker. She's got the long hair and the $1,000 business suits, and she's on stage doing TED Talks with Elaine Whitworth, and flying first class, and she's running into who was it she ran into? One of them rappers. I'm sorry, I don't know these people. But she ran into the rapper, and he said he was on his way to LA to see Crenshaw. And she was like, Crenshaw, wow, okay, wow. So the first vision was what her life would be like if she takes the water partnership, right? And one thing she said when she was in her little TED Talk situation, she said that she doesn't get to LA much anymore. She really doesn't get to do a lot of events in LA as much. Like, she's just, international, and she's flying around, and she's going all these different places, right? Then she gets home, and Nathan is there. Nathan is the perfect man. He got the wine chilling, and, he's loving up on her, and, they got this beautiful home. And she was like, when did we move here? And he was like, we moved here last year because you wanted to be closer to the, to the water office. You wanted to be closer to the office, And she was like, oh, okay, so this is where I am. Oh, all right, okay, cool. So she sees where this is what she, this is what's going to put her where she wants to be financially. But you can see that she's losing a little bit of connection with the community, right? She's not as connected with the community, which is kind of going against what she wanted to do with the block. But it's going to put her in a financial place, which she also wants to be. So while this is going on, we see Molly is, she got Kelly to go with her to go talk to her mom, about to go talk to her parents about the estate planning. And dealing with mortality is a really hard conversation. And what's also really hard that Molly found in this conversation is realizing that your parents aren't where you might have necessarily thought they were. I think Molly thought her parents were in a better financial situation than what they are. Like, it's not like they're about to lose their house. But, Kelly was there, and of course Kelly is being Kelly, but she's selling it. Like, she's able to really sell it, right? With the estate planning and telling them, listen, it's always hard to talk about money, and we don't have to do everything today. But she said, and let me be honest, like, there's nothing you can show me that I haven't seen. Like, I know it's hard, and and her dad even said, he said, listen, it's a little depressing for me to really see it laid out on paper and realize that I don't have as much money as I thought I had. He said that he had to kind of pull money out of his 401k to help pay the medical bills. And that, he said at the end of the day, it's kind of embarrassing to realize that you don't really have a lot to leave your kids. I've been working for 50 years and I don't really have a whole lot. But they stayed and they got it worked out, and we saw Kelly saying to Molly at the end of the conversation, I really enjoy doing this, and I think I want to do more of this. So again, we kind of see where we're headed on this road to the end. Kelly may be finding a purpose outside of just working in the bank and making money for other people, kind of thing. Like, I really want to kind of do more of this and help people out, right? And while this is going on, Crenshaw reaches out to Issa again, and he's like, listen, let's meet up. Like, for real, let's meet up. I really want to show you the space that I think will be a great place for us to start our collective, open up a storefront. Because he's had some great things going for him. It's not like he didn't have anything going for him. But he was like, I really want to show you this space. So now we get into the second vision. She agreed to meet up with him for coffee, but she's still really hesitant because, again, this man did a lot of damage. So they end up going to look at the space, and again, she has this vision. And this vision again, is a successful vision. His storefront is successful. They're able to open up a second storefront, which becomes really successful, and they become a staple in the community. And the people in the community love her, and they know who she is, and they acknowledge what she's done for Inglewood. And Nathan is in this vision as well. They still living in that same apartment. And Issa was like, why haven't we moved? And he was like, well, we had to kind of, make some sacrifices for the culture, and we weren't quite ready. We rocking in the community, but we ain't quite ready to move to that next spot yet, right? And so, but the flip is, while she's there talking to Nathan, guess who shows up? Lawrence shows up, and he's telling her how proud of her he is, and how she's done such a great thing, and and so now Issa is talking to her inner voice, and saying, listen, this is your inner voice. Like, you keep bringing Nathan into this. Bringing Lawrence into this. Like, clearly you want Lawrence to be around. And she was like, no. I don't want him to be around. Like, no, I'm good. And she was like, yeah, but clearly not, because he's here, like, this is your vision. This is your fantasy, and you keep bringing Nathan into your fantasy. Lawrence into your fantasy. So they get done doing the estate planning, and Molly was actually supposed to go out on her second date with Tori, and the first date they went out on was really well. Everything went well, so now they're going out on their second date. And Molly is leaving from her parents' house, after Kelly leaves and everything. And Molly gets in the car, and Molly breaks down. Again, it is really, really hard dealing with especially when dealing with your parents' mortality. And it probably was a little depressing for her to really see everything laid out and see the money and figure out the actual what's going here. We're not arguing over, good china and my favorite CDs. We're really getting into the nuts and bolts of what's there. And so she just really, just had a breakdown. And Torian ended up calling while she was in the car. And, he's like, hey, I'm excited about tonight. Let's do this, and we're going to do that. And he could hear in her voice that something was wrong. And he was like, you're not flaking on me, are you? And she was like, no. So he kept talking, and then she told her, she said, look, I've had a really, really hard day with my parents, really trying day with my parents. And it's not that I want to flake on you. I really want to go, but I feel like I just wouldn't be great company tonight. I just don't think that I would be good company for you tonight. And he says, well, that's okay. And she was like, it is? He was like, yeah, that's okay. I get it. I understand. If you need me, I'm here. If you want to talk, call me. But I get it. So we see Molly at home, and Issa calls Molly to kind of run past her, where she is, with the whole Crenshaw thing versus getting the water sponsorship, and what should she do? And Molly was like, girl, you have to follow your heart. Sometimes it's not about one or the other. Sometimes it's about finding that medium. And, ultimately, I think you already know what you want to do. You just gotta do it. You just gotta put your foot down and say, this is what I'm going to do. But she was like, I think you kind of already know what it is you want to do. So then she's got to knock at her door. Now, I was thinking it was going to be Torian at her door. And it was even better, actually, because I think it was better because what he did was Torian actually sent her some Instacart honey. He sent her some wings and some wine. And he sent her a text and said, you can never go wrong with wings and wine. And so the reason why I say I think it was even better is because he let her know that he cared. He sent a little message to let her know that he was thinking about her and that he cared, but he did not invade her personal time by showing up at her door uninvited. Because now she has the option of saying, well, why don't you come and join me? Why don't you come eating with me? Or thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Can't wait to see you. Because she still needs that time. You know what I mean? So I feel like that was a perfect way of handling that. And again, that's the kind of stuff that gets you a whole lot of brownie points, Tori. You got a whole lot of brownie points, bruh. So Nathan ends up bringing Issa dinner. And once again, Nathan is there. But whose voice does she hear? Lawrence. So, again, we see the setup for the setup with Lawrence, honey. We see the setup for the setup. So, anyway, that was this week's episode. We have 2 episodes left. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Talk to y'all later. Peace.